Hello, my name is Cesar Lozano. Today I'll be talking about the NSA Edward Snowden leaks. So basically, nowadays in the modern age, privacy is something we all really want. It's something really sought after. It's a field that is constantly being improved on, especially with cybersecurity and just not having any of our data sold to anyone. Well, it has not always been like that. I say that back because back in 2013, Edward Snowden, a whistleblower, leaked a bunch of information regarding the NSA, aka the National Security Association, where he basically explained to the American people how the NSA was essentially spying on us by getting our phone numbers, they were tracing our calls, they were looking at our emails, our IP addresses. And we usually did not know that. None of us did. So once Edward Snowden was able to leak all this information, several issues were fixed. Those being programs in the NSA being shut, acts and sections in certain acts being canceled or passed. And then this problem wasn't only occurring to us, it was occurring to the U United Kingdom people. So we all Edward Snowden also helped them out. So Snowden leaking that the NSA was tracking calls and online information of millions of people in America affected the most important aspect of the Snowden leaks, which was basically weakening the Patriot Act, and as of most currently, in March 2020, Section 215, which basically allowed the NSA to abuse its power and just go into your emails, trace your phone calls, do so much more than they were allowed to do. Once that was expired and we passed several other acts with the Electronic Frontier Foundation in 2015, we were able to weaken the NSA because mm, they really did not want to change because they still wanted to spy on us, the American people. So due to all these acts being passed, all these bills in 2018, millions upon millions of records had to be deleted by the NSA due to a lot of the backlash that they were receiving. You know, they were getting death threats, all that sort of nasty stuff. The next big thing that happened was the end of some programs in the NSA, which were basically there to spy on the people. The main program that was shut down was named the Internet Metadata Collection Program. Well, okay, so what would this program do? My answer to you would be it would collect internet metadata by including the email addresses of senders such as me to receivers such as you, and that way they could get our IP addresses and just get more raw data overall. The whole reason for this program being shut down, unfortunately, was not because of the leaks, but it was affected by it. The main reason was Senator Wyden from from Washington. What he did was he was granted permission to go and see how these programs worked, and he believed that it was just too much of a risk for the American people and the safety of the American people. Soon after that, not only did change occur here in the US, change also occurred in the UK due to the fact that the government basically said that since the NSA helped GCHQ spy on their own people, that it breached the articles in the European Convention of Human Rights, which is basically like the Constitution here is just for the Europeans is unconstitutional. And I mean the NSA did all of that and Edward Snowden helped change it. But even with all of this being said, now that President Trump is back in office, what he has done is reauthorize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which basically allows us, the US, to trace calls, trace emails, texts, all of anything you can think of in any other country, such as Europe, Asia, Southern America, all these other countries, we can just spy on them with this act that Donald Trump has passed. Well, now that it has been 12 years since the leaks, a lot has changed, but there is still a lot of work left to be done. You know, Edward Snowden was one of the first people to really open up about how the US government is able to spy on us using the internet because without even realizing, we enter so much of our own data to the internet, you know? And overall, for a short summary, it would be that in the years after the leaks, the most noticeable changes would be Section 215 of the Patriot Act expiring, the American Freedom Act, signed by Congress, but aided upon the EFF, and then that the UK was also being spied on by the NSA and its own government. And one last thing would be that Trump's still spying on on Europe and other countries. In conclusion, like I said before, much has changed, but much more needs to change. But either way, thank you, Edward Snowden, for the big risk that you took. It takes a lot to come out and speak against company governments, government branches such as the NSA, which you never know what they could do to you for speaking. And yeah, that's my presentation. My name's Cesar Lozano. Hope you enjoy.